Kid.
Kid discovering porn on internet for first time, getting caught on mom, getting caught by mom.
I'm getting caught on mom. Okay, we're rolling. You're rolling. You're scrolling through the internet. It's Barney. Barney's there. I love you. You love me. Click on the next thing.
Internet porn site. You say boobies. Okay, make a face.
Make a face.
That's not the right face.
Make a face.
I'm making a face.
I want you to understand something very clearly. I'm a horrible director, and my direction to you is make a face. Do it.
I'm making a face.
Make the face. That's not the face. That's not the face, but I'm just going to keep saying, make a face.
I know.
Make a face.
What kind of face?
Make a face.
I'm making a face.
A face. Make a face. Make a face.
I am.
Make a face.
Yeah.
That's not it. Make a face. God, this fucking kid won't make a face. Okay, everybody, quiet on the set.
Film Reverie Podcast, take 9. Make a face.
And action. Hello, Film Reverie listeners. This is Michael Beckemeyer, and I'm here as always with
Brad Kingston.
Kingston.
In a world where two men do a podcast about films.
Brad Kingston is one of them.
Yes.
And today we have our guest is Jerry Cavallaro. He is the associate director of the Orlando Film Festival, where my film Impasse is going to be playing at later this week.
Yes.
But that's not why we're talking. Drama shorts too. And that is not why we have you here, because I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to talk about the festival, which, by the way, is renowned for being a great festival for filmmakers to visit. I've heard more filmmakers that I've talked to that just randomly told me, oh, you're in Orlando? The Orlando Film Festival is incredible. So welcome. We're glad you're here.
It's kind of weird when you say that it's like the film festival for filmmakers, because when I first heard him say that when we were talking before the show, I was like, well, isn't every film festival for filmmakers? Or what?
You would think.
Maybe
it should be. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, so what does that mean? Why is it better than other
because we care about the filmmakers. If you look at so many other festivals, they care about ticket sales and they care about bringing in an audience, and that's kind of it. I've been to festivals myself. I've gotten into festivals with my first film where I've gone there and they're like, oh, this is the VIP section. You can't go in. And I'm like, but I'm a filmmaker here, and this is, my film is playing here, and this party is supposed to be for the filmmakers. It's a filmmaker party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to upgrade to the VIP pass where you have to pay $100 to get into the party. And I'm like, that's not how a film festival should be run.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just going on. Your question?
No. He said that's bullshit.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't saying that you're bullshit. No. I'm saying I can't believe they would have your film and say, you can't get into your film that we have.
The film party.
Because you have to pay.
Bullshit. I thought you were whispering and they're like, oh, listen to this bullshit.
Shut up. No. I'm rude, but not that rude.
No. But tell us a little about yourself. You're the associate director of Orlando Film Festival, but where you just told us you're a filmmaker too. Where did you start out? How are you a filmmaker?
Well, one thing, I'm based in New York. But I consider this my home film festival. This is my local festival. Even though I live in New York, I was born and raised in New York, and this wasn't even the first festival I got into. The first one was the Staten Island Film Festival, which is where I live, Staten Island. So you would think I would associate with that festival, which is no longer even a festival anymore. But this was always the festival that, I was blown away. I came down to this festival with my first film, Stuff Like Chuck, and I went crazy promoting it. I brought a costume, this big name tag that said, hello, I'm Stuff Like Chuck. I was handing out door hangers and stickers for my film, and I really went nuts promoting it, and we packed the theater. And, I just felt so, welcomed at the festival. I was always hanging out with Dan Springen, who's the executive director, he still is the executive director of the festival, and just the volunteers we have a lot of volunteers that are Valencia film students, and they're eager to actually interact with the filmmakers and discuss film, and you can actually have meaningful conversations with our volunteers, which is something that I can say definitely doesn't happen at a lot of festivals. And I really just love the vibe of the festival. So at the end of the festival, they were like, you went crazy promoting your film here. we want to name an award after you. We want to create an award for you, the Jerry Cavallaro Indie Spirit Award. They're like, and next year we're gonna hand it out, and we want to bring you back to the festival. So then I went back the following year, and I brought my friend, a film critic, Nick Baisley, and he just was blown away. And he's been to way more festivals than I have. And he was like, this festival, it's amazing what they do. Like, they go out of their way for the filmmakers. And then I just kept coming back each year. And then one year I filmed my whole experience. And then I cut it together and I made a feature-length documentary about the film festival called Nick and Jerry Get Off, which you can watch for free online at njgetoff.com.
Nick and Jerry Get Off.
NJ Get Off,
yes. Yeah, Nick and Jerry Get Off. And,
that's a great title, though.
To promote the film, I was actually yelling outside. There was a breast cancer walk, and I was walking through the breast cancer walk saying, "Come watch Nick and Jerry Get Off at the Cow Plaza Cinema Cafe." And then I realized that no one knew that was a movie, so very awkward. Like, everyone's just like, "What is going on with this guy? Get away
He's
from
a pervert. Call the cops."
I just kept promoting my stuff, and then after my film screen, the documentary about the festival screen, Dan was like, I don't know why we didn't think of this sooner. Let's bring you on as staff and use your marketing skills, and you know this festival. Everyone here knows you. You can really help us. I gave them suggestions for films to screen. So it's like, just come on board. So last year I was the associate director, and it was my first year doing that, and I helped do programming, and I helped bringing in tons of films and raising submissions and doing all kinds of stuff like that. And then this year, I just invested even more time into it, and now I'm here a week earlier than I came last year. And we're putting together a scavenger hunt. That's why I was late calling into you guys, because we were going around to local places. We're setting up a scavenger hunt, and we're gonna have people are gonna go around and tweet pictures of themselves at different locations around downtown Orlando, and they're gonna win. We have these cool prizes set up, so we're really going all out and making this a really fun event that is bringing everybody together in Orlando and really sharing this amazing community with all the filmmakers that are coming in, and letting them get to meet the local talent, and getting the local talent to meet these incredible filmmakers.
So your enthusiasm for this particular festival is incredible. And it's contagious, because I'm already excited because my film is playing in it, but I'm getting more excited listening to you talk about how cool it is. And the other thing I got out of what you just said is my movie Impasse is about a 30-something unhappily married woman. We'll just generically, break it down on that. And you're telling me that if I have Brad come dressed as a distraught 30-something, I could win the Indie Spirit Award? Jerry Cavallaro.
I was going to ask if we can have an award for the shortest bearded person to work on a film.
Brad's not a tall person.
And my beard is epic.
He's got old mountain hermit beard.
We might have to do some type of best facial hair award or something.
Yes!
The award show is this Saturday night. We do this year. It's 8 to 9:30 is our award ceremony. We get a stage set up in the courtyard right in front of the theater, so it's open to everybody. And we do a pre-concert before it, so we make a huge event. And all the theaters go dark, so that way everyone will be out for the award show. And then after that, we do an epic party. This year, I think we're going to be doing it at Latitudes, which is this really cool bar that's nearby. That it's on the rooftop of the building. So we have this huge party that goes on until 2 a.m. there after the award ceremony. It'd be fun if we do gag awards at the party, and it's you win a free beer. It's best facial hair, best free beer,
shortest man at the party,
best unnecessarily long beard.
Yeah, but I'm gonna trim it before then. I'm not gonna go around looking like this.
Great.
I got tape on my glasses because they're broke. My hair's down to my shoulder blades. I've got to get all pretty.
I want to say that I resent the fact that you'll trim your beard for other people, but I have to look at you like this. I have to see this, and you're like, oh, before I go out in public, I'm gonna.
You don't matter.
Okay. Okay. So awesome. How long has the Orlando Film Festival been a thing? How long has it been around?
This is our ninth year. We were actually just talking, like, we can't believe next year's our 10th anniversary, so we're like, we got to really expand and go big next year. But this year is definitely going to be our biggest year yet, and we're really excited about that. We have more filmmakers coming than we've ever had before. We're showing more movies than we ever had before. So it's really going to be a huge, epic year for the festival. And we're doing more like events, like I said, the scavenger hunt. And we're going to even do like these small little events. Like here's an event that I was actually going to keep it a secret, but I was like, you know what? I should tell people because maybe it'll get more people coming out to it. At some point during the festival, I think it's going to be before our awards show, we're going to do a Nick Cage off where we're going to bring people on stage and do their best Nicolas Cage impersonation, and then they get to win an awesome Nicolas Cage themed prize. So,
like what? So, what are the Nicolas Cage themed prize? Please,
well, that's a surprise.
That's surprising.
We don't want to ruin that. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's just going to be a little something to do, and we're going to like post that like a video online afterwards of all the people that enter it, and we're just trying to like really do these fun little events to really expand and get people excited about the festival, build a buzz online, and also do fun stuff like for the filmmakers here. That's why we were thinking about the scavenger hunt. We're like, that'd be really cool to do next year. It would be impossible to put together a scavenger. Like this morning, we just came up with the scavenger hunt idea, and then we were like, yeah, we're never going to be able to do it by next week. We still have to do all this stuff. We're still finalizing the outline of the program, and then we're like, you know what? Let's just do the scavenger hunt anyway because that's really fun.
Screw it. Anything's possible.
Well, what I really like is how you are. It almost feels like an experiment in you just try. We'll just try this. There's not any real that's pretension.
We're trying different things. And, you know, if something doesn't work out, if people don't like something, then next year we won't do it. We'll do something different. And if people like last year, we had a panel on acting. We did an interacting panel. People really responded to it. Unfortunately, it was like a last-minute panel, so we couldn't really do it right. So we had a small crowd, but the crowd that came really liked it. And it was a panel about how actors interact on set, and we had directors talking about how they deal with actors, and actors talking about how they deal with directors. And so it was like a really cool panel that was kind of open for actors, but also anybody else. And the few people that came out really liked it. So this year we gave them a bigger panel, and we're redoing that. And these guys come from Truthful Acting Studios, and that's an acting school here in Orlando. And so they come out for that. And we do this one cool event that we started, I think 6 years ago, and people love it, so we bring it back every year. It's the VIP tour of the Universal Studios backlot. Yeah. So that's just for the filmmakers that, or for anyone who has a VIP Elite badge, and they get to see the backlots of Universal Studios in a private tour. That even if you do the backlot tour, like you pay at Universal Studios to do the backlot tour, it's a completely different tour. This tour is an exclusive tour that they put together especially for our festival. So we try to work with local places and just do really cool events. If something doesn't work, then we won't do it again. If people respond to it, we bring it back.
That sounds awesome.
Cool.
When is the VIP tour?
The VIP tour is Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
Wednesday night's the opening night, so Thursday morning we do the VIP tour, and we do that kind of like we use it to start off the festival. So it's kind of like a bonding thing because it's pretty much almost all filmmakers are going on the tour,
and it
gives them a chance to talk like on the bus ride to Universal and when they're walking around, and then Universal puts out this huge spread for lunch, so all the filmmakers hang out and they get to have lunch and. It's like it's a nice spread. Like it's gotten bigger each year. And last year it was like this huge buffet, and I was just like, this is amazing. I can't wait to see what they give us to eat this year. That's probably the best fed I get the entire festival.
Right, because you're probably eating pizza.
I was wondering how do we, because I don't know, wouldn't be able to make it in the morning, right?
I won't do the morning thing.
But I was thinking I might want to try it. How do I find out where to go and how to do it?
That should have been emailed to whatever the contact email is. But we're also sending a new email very soon that's going to have like all the details of how to check in, how to do all that stuff. Right. So like if only one of you can come out, like if no one's, are you guys going to come out to opening night or?
You were just talking just now. I for some reason thought opening night was Thursday. I was coming Thursday night.
Well, Thursday nights are horror night, so nonstop horror movies from 5 to 11.
Totally fine too. I'm going to try to come on Wednesday night. I'll try to come on Wednesday night, the opening night. I want to be there as much as I can.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to for the show.
So, Wednesday's a lot of fun. It's opening night. We have a nice crowd. We have a lot of cool people come out. We have a lot of local businesses. That's when we have the most, I think, local businesses is Wednesday night.
We have to be there
because everyone comes for opening night.
That's awesome. So, you have been involved in the film festival, from its beginning, or?
No, well, the festival's been around. This is the 9th year, so it's been around for 9 years. Mm-hmm. Pretty much everyone that's working the festival now, well, not everyone, but the main people that are in charge of the festival, Dan Springen and Holly Morgan, who's the executive director and vice president, they came on board 6 years ago. And that was my first year that I came here as a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And they've kind of took over the festival. And now I don't think any of the founding members of the festival are still involved. They're we have an advisory board, so they still are involved in some way. But it's been 6 years since the iteration of the festival as it is now. Because 6 years ago is when we started at the Cobb Plaza Cinema Cafe. Because that's when they built this theater, which is an absolutely incredible theater. It's one of the best theaters I've ever been in. The seats are these large, comfy, reclining chairs. Yeah, and it's there's bars in the theater. There's really good food. It's not just popcorn. It's actual gourmet sandwiches and stuff, and really delicious food. It's I was just blown away by coming to this theater. I'm used to this crappy little theater, chain theater that I go to in New York, and coming here, I was just this is amazing. This is this is a theater that really is built for a film festival. Yeah, and we have because we have the bar area for the filmmakers to hang out in. It's really cool.
It's a nice theater. I mean, it's not. There's no other theater. We have some nice theaters around here because the whole Disney thing. So the whole tourist thing, but it's nice. I've been there a few times. It's not close to me, so when I'm going to a movie, I don't say, hey, I'm just going to run down to the Cinema Cafe. But I go there from time to time, and I've been there to see Orlando Film Festival stuff, and it's comfortable. And you sit there, and you're like, this is nice,
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been doing this for a while, and I know you must have picked up on certain things over time, things like, what is it about a movie or a short film or a feature or a documentary or whatever that gets it into a festival? I know there's no set one thing, but what is it that film festivals are looking for when they pick a movie?
There's a lot of things that go into it. A lot of it is also personal opinion. It sucks to say that, but it is with a lot of festivals. I mean, it's with us too, but we try to do a multi-step process where we have several people view each film. So if someone watches a film and they it's just not for them, they might pass it to someone else, another one of our programmers, and then they'll watch it. And we all try to program for what we think our audience will like and what our audience has responded to well over the years. So, our festival is really good for horror during the horror night. We always have a huge crowd. This year was the first year we did an actual horror night. But prior to that, we've shown horror films, and we usually get nice crowds for that. We do very big comedy, and we have this one shorts program called The Most Outrageous. Mm-hmm. And every year that's packed. And we show these really outrageous comedies in that program.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
All the shorts in it can win an award, most outrageous film of the festival. And so we kind of look for what will play well at our festival, but we look for technical stuff. We look to see the quality of the film. If anything really just resonates with us, if there's something that we really moves us in any way, if it's comedy and it makes us laugh, it's gonna get in. And we don't really look at budget. If a film is low budget, my film Stuck Like Chuck, I filmed that. It's a feature film. I filmed it for $2,500. Huh. I look back at it and I'm like, wow, that looks like I filmed it for $2,500. Yeah. It got into the festival, and I had no connections to the festival when it got in. And Dan was like, I personally programmed that one. I watched it, and he's like, within 10 minutes, it just spoke to me. He's like, I related so much to the character, and he's like, technically it needs some work, but I just love the film. So he brought me in, and that was 6 years ago, and now I'm working for the festival. So really, if there's just something in the film that really resonates with us, if we see something that we like, if it like, I don't know, it's really hard to say. Like, there's no one thing about a film, but I will say that if a film is technically bad and there's nothing like redeeming about it, if there's nothing really that we're like if you watch a film, like every once in a while this happens, we watch a film and we're just like, what were they thinking? Like I don't think, like, even the filmmakers, I don't think they made this film and they were happy with the end product. Like, there are just some films that come our way that but we'll reach out to those filmmakers sometimes too.
I have a quick question though. Can you kind of talked about all the good things, but I just was wondering the opposite of, like, what are things, maybe some not tos that you definitely know for sure, like you see something.
Here's one thing, like, our festival doesn't do this, but a lot of festivals do this, and we really should start doing it. Short films should be short. Like, the definition of a short film is any film below 50 minutes. That's the official Academy Awards rule for short films. So that's what almost every festival does. Mm-hmm. They do, if it's under 50 minutes, it's a short. If it's over 50 minutes, it's a feature. We get a lot of short films that are 40 to 50 minutes, and they're hard to program because we have short blocks, and we have these shorts that are like 8 minutes, 10 minutes, which are like, that's a sweet spot for shorts. And then we have these massive shorts. But if we get one of these massive shorts, like, usually they're overlong. Like, usually you can, like, when you watch it, you're like, there's definitely places where they could have cut. However, some of them are so technically excellent. Like, we have these, like, last year we had this whole category called war shorts, and the special effects in them, the cinematography, they were on the level of, like, Saving Private Ryan. Like, I was blown away by just some of the shots in these films, and like some of them went on a little too long. Like, the movie was 45 minutes, it should have probably been like 35 minutes, and that would have been like a super tight edit.
So make your shorts short,
but make the shorts shorter. But we'll still accept it if it really deserves a spot and it's a great film. We'll forgive stuff like that. But yeah, I that's the one thing I really wish we would get more shorter shorts. Just watch to make sure your film isn't too long. We actually had one film one year that the filmmaker sent it to us, and our programs were on the bubble about it because they really liked it, but they felt it was like 5 minutes too long. Then the filmmaker, a few weeks later, sent us, like, we recut the film. It's 4 minutes shorter. And then we got it, and we're like, wow, this plays so much better. They're in now. Yeah. And then they were like, it's funny, if they cut like 2 or 3 more minutes out of it, it would have been much tighter pace, and like maybe it would have even been nominated for an award but it's just a little too overlong. But still, like, cutting that few minutes made it an automatic in. It went from being like on the fence to being in, just because they trimmed it and made it a tighter paced film. So that's one thing that, like, filmmakers really, they should tighten their films, make sure it's as like it plays as smoothly as possible and as tight as possible, and doesn't have all that extra bloating, like my rambling of this question.
No. So, but it's interesting because as you're talking, I'm thinking my impression as a filmmaker who's never worked at a festival. I've always only submitted my films and things. I always have the vibe or the feeling that I have one chance to submit my film, and if I change the movie later, I've already wasted the old version of that film on, like, that festival. Like, I can't.
Yeah, you're not supposed to send a film twice. Like, it's supposed to be, you send your film, that's your final version of your film, and that's it. But, like, we understand that things happen. People make changes. I changed my film several times after it's screened. Like, I did test screenings of the film, and then after test screenings, I was like, this is a tight edit. I sent it to film festivals. I got rejected from, like, every festival. I was like, I'm going to tighten it some more, and I tightened it some more. And I took my film down like 20 minutes in the end. And I replaced huge chunks of the movie too. Like, really, like, there was 40 minutes difference between when I first submitted my film to a first festival and when I finally released the film. There was like 40 minutes of either stuff that was cut or changed. So things happen. People change their film. Their film might have played in another festival, and then they were like seeing with a different audience. They're like, I really should trim these things. So if a filmmaker reaches out to us and like, I know I sent you my film, but I made a tighter edit. It's much better. Please watch it. If it's a film that we were on the fence about, we'll watch it. If it's a film that was already in the festival, then we'll watch it and be like, okay, good, this is an even better version of what was in.
So don't be afraid to resubmit, right?
Well,
I mean,
especially it seems like with
your... get a ton of resubmissions, but yeah, you shouldn't be afraid to resubmit. And also, if you submitted a film to us and then you made, like this year, and you got rejected, and then you made massive changes to it, and then you want to resubmit it next year, that's fine too. Like there's a chance that it'll get in the following year, especially because we have a few different programmers. Maybe someone else, it'll really like resonate with them. They'll like it and they'll pick it.
I think that speaks to what the rumors or the reputation that Orlando Film Festival has is that you really are fans of the filmmakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me when I go to the theater. It's like why I'd never be a great film critic, because when I go to see a movie, I want to like the movie. And sometimes I spend 2 hours searching deep to find something
we're
that
like that too. Like when we get films, like we want to like every film that we get.
Yeah.
And we know it's never going to happen. We know that there are going to be films that that are terrible. Like it's just flat out there that we get films like I was saying before. There are films that we receive that are just like everything's bad. Like on a technical level, on a writing level, on an acting level. Like every aspect of the film it was bad, and that happens every year. There's always a few films, but then when we get those films that are absolutely amazing, they blow us away. We love that, and we especially love when a filmmaker comes back to us. Like we have a lot of alumni. We're really proud that we get so many filmmakers that they make another film, and they want to come to us. We have one filmmaker, Elias Plagianos. His film screening. I completely blanked on the title. It's The Man from Somewhere. I forgot what it was. I need to check my list again.
The guy from someplace.
I know. I need to memorize every title on the program.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen though. How many movies do you guys have playing?
Like 200.
Yeah.
You
should be ashamed of yourself. You don't know all of those movies.
Less than 250. Come on. But yeah, his film. He had a film, The Crimson Mask, several years ago. He actually played the year that I first came to the festival, so he was here 6 years ago, and he's been working on stuff. He turned his film into a web series and stuff, but now he finally made a new short film, and he sent it in. He was like, "You're the first festival we want to send it to." He's like, "We like," and he just sent a tweet out today saying he can't wait to come back to the festival. It was his favorite festival that he's ever been a part of. So we love that. We love when filmmakers come back to us, and because I've said many times, we care about filmmakers. Like we really go above and beyond for the filmmakers, and so we want to like everything that comes to us because we want to make connections. We want to become friends with these filmmakers. We want to work with these filmmakers. We want to we've had filmmakers we're showing films here this year that are in conjunction with people that met at the festival previous years. Like there's an actor in one of the films. He met the director at this festival 2 years ago, and now we're showing their film. So connections are made at this festival, and so that's why we want to like everything that comes in, and we want to every time we find something that we love, we can't wait to share it with the audience and bring these filmmakers in, meet the filmmakers, and introduce them to the other filmmakers, and hopefully we'll make some super films that will start taking over other festivals.
And you just brought up something that I wanted to ask you about, because you talked about kind of the fact that when you go to a film festival like this, you can network and stuff, but at the same time, I know that a big part of this is marketing. Like if you don't, one of the things we learned in the past is you don't want to just submit your film to a festival and then not show up, or show up and then not bring anything to promote your film, or even not have something to not be able to talk about your next project and whatever. So I kind of wondering
What a survival guide, like a survival guide
for, if you're a filmmaker and your film's in there and you make it there.
What top three things? What are what's some of your top advice you would give? Like, what would you tell me to do?
I would tell you to just be open and talking to everybody. Like, just put yourself out there at like the parties, and don't be afraid to approach a group of filmmakers that are talking. Like we have gold lanyards for the filmmakers, and like for the filmmakers and for anyone like talent associated to a film. So anyone at the festival that has a gold lanyard, they're a filmmaker. So that's a way for you to like easily be able to distinguish who's filmmakers and who's just like VIPs or whatever. So go over to them, talk to other filmmakers, and just like chat with them. Tell them about your film, tell them about projects, and just don't be afraid to like interact with the other filmmakers. And
do you have lanyards for like the single women? So they have a certain color, so I know who to hit on.
We should do that, or maybe we should do like a speed dating panel or something like that. Or,
dating for filmmakers, because that's really hard. Like, how do you juggle like being like a creative person making movies and all that stuff, having zero time
life.
and have a
you have a job, you have your films that you do when you're not working your job, and then how do you have my personal Twitter says I have a girlfriend, her name is filmmaking. Yes.
I mean that's it.
This should be like purple.
That kind of says it all.
Yeah. So that was
bring something to promote your film. Like, bring either a business card or a postcard, or have
something to hand out.
Have something to hand out. Like, even if the poster of your film is a tiny little business card, and on the back it has your website. Just have something to give people to hand out, to like share your film with other people. Like, because you're gonna like this happens every year with me. I meet filmmakers. Some of them will give me tons of cards and stuff, and that's good because when I go back to the room at night, I could look up the films and be like, oh yeah, this is a good film and stuff. And that's like, even if I'm not associated with the festival, when I go to other festivals and I meet filmmakers, I want them to hand me business cards or postcards. If they're like, oh, you should see my film, and they tell me about their film, and then that's it. I'm meeting 20, 50 more people that night. I'm not going to remember the film. So bring something to give people, so that way they'll remember your film, or they can go back and look up your film later. And so that's definitely a big thing. And have fun. Don't stress out too much. Like, if you're promote your film and not a lot of people come to the screening, then just make do with who comes. Like, just like look on the positive side. These people are here for your film. It's more intimate screening. I've had screenings of my film where there was 10 people in the audience, and some of those have been the best screenings I've ever had, because I would joke around with people after the Q&A. We just hang out with everyone and just like bullshit with them. So just if not a lot of people show up to your screening, then don't be down about it. If
Mike will be down.
If something goes wrong technically, like that happens sometimes. But just try to have fun and don't stress out. Like, don't worry. Like, I have to market my film. I have to do this, and don't always be on. Like, you could relax a little bit. Have a beer at some of the parties and just kick back. And like really, but you do have to put yourself out there and promote your film, though. Like, at least some of the time. Yeah. Like, you can't just sit back and relax the whole time, because then there's a chance that no one will come to your movie.
Yeah, so don't waste your time while you're there, but also don't stress out.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you're saying be cool.
I know it's a little contradictory, but you split up your time. Relax, have fun. Kick back with the filmmakers, and casually promote your stuff. Still promote your stuff, and bring materials to hand out to promote your stuff. Like that's kind of like my advice. Like, have fun, but work a little. There's a little aspect of work involved at a festival.
Yeah.
But it really is a fun event. And like, we have filmmakers that come and they treat it like a business thing. And they're like, I'm only here to associate with, people that are going to help my career. Yeah. And those people end up not having a good time, because that's just not how you should handle a festival. But then we have the filmmakers that they come and they just want to drink. They don't like bring anything. They don't have business cards. They don't like really make connections with anybody. And then they complain afterwards. They're like, how come no one came to see my movie? And it's like, well, you didn't tell anybody about it. And like, we have an audience. We bring an audience. But every movie that's playing, there are 5 other theaters that are either playing a movie or have an event going on. The only time that doesn't happen is the opening night, where it's just the opening night film. Every other time that a film is playing, it's up against 5 other films. So we do bring our own audience, but filmmakers also have to bring an audience. So like, it's a fine balance between having fun, but also, you know, a little bit of a hustle.
I have a quick question because you just just reminded me. When, let's say we're there opening night and we know when our film's gonna be airing and what theater and all that, is it prudent, I guess would be the word, to say, you know, when you talk to people and you make some friends, say, hey, come see our film, and hand them a card and get people in that way?
Absolutely. Like a lot of times we have filmmakers that are in the audience for other filmmakers' films that like they met at a party and they talked at a party and they pitched the film and they're like, wow, that sounds like a good film. And then they get a card and then they'll go on the website and look at the trailer and be like, oh yeah, I want to see this film. And then they'll go and attend that screening. And it's really cool. Like it's always fun watching filmmakers go into other filmmakers' films and watch the film and then discuss the film afterwards. And it's really cool. Like the first half of most parties each night are the filmmakers talking about the movies they watched that day, usually with the filmmaker who made the films.
Yeah, that's
and then the second half is like when everyone starts getting drunk and starts doing.
That'll be us, not the getting drunk part, but the talking about all the movies you liked.
It seems to me like, and it seems to me that that's what's cool about you guys, like your festival, is that it's very much, like you said, centric towards filmmakers. It's set up to be, like you said, filmmaker friendly, and even though that seems like it makes perfect sense and obvious, and why don't other people do it? But I appreciate that. I appreciate that as a filmmaker, and I haven't attended your festival as a filmmaker, so I'm about to. I'm really looking forward to it. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that it's about the movies and not necessarily about what movie.
Or the,
you know what I mean?
The commercialization.
Yeah, the commercialization of it, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, some years we have films with big stars in it. Some years we don't. This year we have a few stars in some of the films. None of the stars are really coming out for it, but we had this one film, Like Sunday, Like Rain, starring Deborah Messing, Billie Joe Armstrong, the lead singer of Green Day, Leighton Meester, and they're like, the film is a fantastic film, but we were looking at it, we're like, this just isn't right for opening night. So we got a film with much lesser known actors, but we were like, this is the right film for opening night. And a lot of festivals, they'll be like, oh, if we choose the Deborah Messing film, then like we put her face on it, that's going to sell more tickets. And it's like, we picked the film that is right for our audience, and it's a film that the Deborah Messing film, like we've been in touch with the filmmaker, and nothing disparaging about them. Frank Whaley, he's been awesome. The only reason they're not coming to the festival is he's shooting something else right now. But like the other filmmakers, they're going to actively promote, like, we're the opening night film. This is awesome. That's a big deal for
that is a big deal,
the other films. So like we don't go after like films with just star power to try to sell tickets. That being said, we do have a really cool program on Sunday. We have Dan Fogler is coming out. He's the star of Balls of Fury and Fanboys, Good Luck Chuck. He's on the TV show Man Up, and he's actually filming a new TV show now. He's going to take one day off to fly out. We're showing his newest film that he directed, Don Peyote, and that stars like Anne Hathaway, Jay Baruchel, Josh Duhamel, and himself. And so he's going to do a special screening of his film and then have a discussion with him after, called The Highs and Lows of Hollywood, but mostly getting high. And so he's going to have like a little panel discussion and talk, and he'll sign anything that people bring. And he's also a graphic novelist, so he'll sign any comics that come in. And so like we do bring in like a little bit of star power for some things, but really we focus, like, if your film has no celebrities in it and you shot it in your grandma's backyard, if it tells a good story, it'll get in, and we'll screen it, and we'll champion that film. So we really are for the filmmakers, and not just like the filmmakers that can like afford to have the best equipment and the biggest names. Like we'll show those films, but we show anything that like we care about. So yeah, we really focus on that. That's what we care about, and that's what we want. That's the message we like to share with people. We want people to see that and see how much we do.
That's awesome.
I have a question though. You mentioned Q&A.
Yes.
Now our film is like what, 8 minutes?
We will have a Q&A.
Yeah, we have a Q&A.
I was going to bring that up as a joke. I was going to say, it's only 8 minutes long. Should we prepare for a Q&A? In this scene, when she's there, you're the gift,
My Q&A I'm wordy, so my Q&A will run longer than my movie by probably 45 minutes.
Every short film, what we do is, at the end of the short film block, any talent from any of the short films can go up on stage. We introduce each person. We remind everybody in the audience what their film is. And then we do a Q&A, like a free-for-all Q&A, where we have a mic that goes around, and they can ask any of the filmmakers or all of the filmmakers whatever question they want. And we do that. Like I'm always amazed when I get that question from filmmakers. Like I've probably gotten the question 20, 25 times this year. And our director, our VIP relations person, they actually they were like, we have like probably 50 emails from shorts filmmakers saying like, my films are short. Do I have a Q&A? And it always blows my mind that like if you're attending the festival and there's an audience that just watched your film, of course we want to have the audience have a chance to ask questions.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, we didn't think... We talked about it and we were like, I don't think we're going to... we didn't expect it, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, you guys will get a Q&A, and then on top
we're
of that...
important.
You guys are important. I was at a film festival... I couldn't believe this. The filmmaker was a feature filmmaker, not even a short filmmaker. He was a feature filmmaker, but he didn't have like big stars in his film. The festival wouldn't let him walk the red carpet. They said that you can't walk the red carpet and the people in your film can't walk. It's for these films only.
Why do they make it? Why does that have to be a thing? Why does that have to be even made?
I have no idea. We have a red carpet that the audience walks on. Like, everybody in the crowd walks the red carpet to get into the theater. Like, we do that because we try to treat everybody like a rock star at the festival. Like, even the audience, like, we want, like, the audience is special to us, too, because they're the ones that, like, we're bringing these films out for them to see. And we want the filmmakers to interact with this audience, and we want the audience to interact with the filmmakers. So, like, we really, like, if they have a VIP Elite badge, they get all the perks that a filmmaker has. So
we're rock stars.
They don't have films at the festival, but like if they're working in Orlando, sometimes like if they're talent in Orlando, they're filmmakers here. They'll buy a VIP Elite badge so that way they can interact with the filmmakers that do have films playing at the festival. So we really like it. It always blows my mind when like short filmmakers get like the raw end of the deal, or filmmakers that like, oh, your film was low budget. You're lucky you're even screening here, so we're not going to give you anything.
Yeah, and when you say short filmmakers, you don't mean filmmakers that are short, right? Like me.
Yeah, there is a difference between the short filmmakers and then the filmmakers who happen to be short.
We
discriminate against you.
Yeah, short filmmakers are not invited.
They have their own little mini theaters that they go into.
Like John Malkovich.
No, we accommodate to everybody. We even have our own little mini bar for you.
Yay! Yeah, I got a little fridge with little bottles.
We'll get a high chair. You're good.
All right, so I have a couple more things.
Okay.
The first thing is, so you were talking about earlier, I don't even remember if we were recording, but earlier, but you were talking about crazy things that filmmakers have done to get people to come see their movie.
Yeah.
So give me one that's the craziest thing you saw that actually worked.
Now I'm trying to think back on like something that's really good. Like, I don't know. I've just like there's been like just a lot of really cool things. Like we had people that like, you know what? I know one that I really loved. We had this film called Rock Barnes. It was this really cool mockumentary about a motivational speaker, and it's Rock Barnes, The Emperor and You. And it stars Eric Stolhansky, who was from Broken Lizard, and he was Rock Barnes. And he was this mentor that gave this advice, but it was all terrible advice, and he's this like really terrible self-help guru who's selfish. So we had they brought in this one guy who claimed that Rock Barnes changed his life. And he had a Rock Barnes poster taped to his back, and he had these like motivational packs of gum that said Rock Barnes, and like it had motivational tips on it.
That's
and
awesome.
He would go around to the parties telling people how Rock Barnes changed his life, and go watch this film about this great self-help guru, and your life will be forever changed. And so it was just really funny.
That's pretty good.
I swear that sounds like stuff that Mike and I think of.
No. Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to pull it off. I'm not smooth
I could
like
do
that.
I could be like the worst motivational.
That's good, though. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay.
And also, we have a film this year that it's based on a short film from a few years ago called Just About Famous, and they made a feature now. It's about impersonators. So
I know the guy who made that movie.
Yeah? Matt Manuel.
Yeah.
He'll be at the festival, and he's bringing impersonators at the parties. So we did that when he had his short, and he's doing that again.
That's
so we're
gonna
have
be
like
fun.
Barack Obama walking around, and so that's something that's really cool. And like we love when filmmakers do that, when they do like the biggest thing we've ever done. This wasn't really crazy, but we had these Chinese this film about I don't want to say karate because it wasn't karate, but it
Kung
was
Fu.
a specific form of martial
Kung
arts.
Fu.
What was that?
It's Kung Fu, but martial arts is good. That's politically correct.
Okay. And they had dragons. They had Chinese dragons or Japanese dragons. Now I'm really being offensive.
It's Chinese.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's Chinese. They do the dragon dance.
And it was this really cool thing that they put on. They put on this whole show, and we put it right before our awards. So it started with these dragon dancers coming out, and then they walked through the theater, and people were stopping and taking pictures with it. So that was a really cool, fun event that we did.
Awesome.
That was all from the filmmaker. The filmmaker reached out and was like, "We want to do this," and we were like, "We want you to do this."
We want you to do this. Yeah. So it's not. It's like you gotta. You have to use your creativity. You have to be creative.
Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Just come up with like something fun to do. Like the winners of last year's Indie Spirit Award. The film was called Chastity Bites, and it was about this Elizabeth Bathory basically was teaching sex education at schools in order to keep high school students virgins, so that way she can bathe in their blood and live forever. And so they were handing out condoms that said Chastity Bites on it.
That's a good one.
That's what I want to see.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I just had some visuals.
I want to see that movie.
That.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah, we're sick.
Okay, so to wrap up, I want you to make sure you say what you think. What you think the mention some of the movies you think people are going to want to see, times and where and all that stuff, so that like the last thing people hear when they're listening to this.
What do you want people to know?
I want people to go to the Drama Shorts 2. That's the highlight of the festival.
The highlight of the festival.
We built the entire program around, really, it was impasse. That's the thing about the program that we really, after we got that film, we were like, we're done this year.
We're done this year.
We feel that way, too. We can't wait to see it.
So Drama Shorts 2 is
my ego thanks
3
you.
p.m. on Friday, October 24th, and it's also screening at 3 p.m. on Sunday, October 26th.
Oh, you know what? I missed that.
That's because we fixed that, and we realized that Drama Shorts 2 did not have a second screening.
Badass.
And we corrected that. And that's, I don't know if the schedule actually went out, so congratulations, you guys got a second screening now.
We got a second screening. Awesome. Thank you for telling me. You heard it here.
First.
But yeah, the program, the finalized program should go out today. We just had to keep making these little minor changes. We didn't remove anybody's film. We just added some things. We had to move a few things around a little, but it's pretty much the same program. It's just like a few little things got added, and one of the things was Drama Shorts too. So I'm glad I was able to tell you. I was hoping it went out, but obviously it didn't go out yet. So the new program will come out to you guys soon.
Awesome.
But yeah, Drama Shorts too.
Well, I'm glad that I made the little stickers you put on your little postcard that says when and where and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't put all the stickers on all of them that said 3 p.m. on Friday the 24th. So that's good. Awesome.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Okay. And then in addition to that, we have like some really great things. Like I don't even know, when I was telling you about Legends of the Night, was that before we started?
That was before we started.
Okay, well, Legends of the Night is this fantastic documentary about why Batman's a symbol of hope, why he's important to, like, as a pop culture icon, that people around the world like love Batman, and it's a symbol. It inspires people.
Yeah, I saw the preview, and it's awesome.
It really is. Like, my fiance started tearing up when I showed her. And the last line of the trailer, when you watch the trailer, the last line, it gets you. And I don't want to spoil it. Just watch the trailer for it.
Yes.
There's this one guy, he dresses up like Batman. He was a businessman. He gave up his like six-figure salary to dress up like Batman and visit children's hospitals and give them free comics.
Yeah.
And there's someone else in it that he's a cop and he wears the Batman shirt and he goes around like helping like the community and doing community service. And there's this little boy who was really sick. He had cancer, and like the doctors would wear Batman symbols, and he would like had a cape on all day, and he would Batman helped him get better. He says he got better and he beat his disease because of Batman. So it's really an amazing film, and like I loved it, and I wanted to screen it last year, but they weren't ready in time. They were putting the finishing touches on it, so we're screening it this year, and we're doing a whole special event where after the film we're doing a Batman costume contest. So everyone who comes dressed as Batman or a Batman character gets in for free. And that way, like it's going to be just like a fun event where you bring your cameras, take pictures. We have a Batman impersonator. For any kids that are listening, which you should be listening to this, it's the actual Batman. But yeah, basically, it's going to be a really fun event that like I'm really excited about that one because I love Batman. I grew up on Batman, and so I'm really excited to share that with the audience.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Do you know what day and time that shows?
That is Friday at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And the film's only like 73 minutes, but we give them a full 2-hour block because after we're doing the costume contest, they're going to do a Q&A. We have all these cool Batman prizes, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
And I was just thinking, I should have mentioned this earlier. The Batman thing, if you come dressed as Batman, you get in free for that event. But any other day of the festival, if you come in costume, you wear a Halloween costume, you get half off your day pass. So instead of paying $15 to see movies all day, you pay $7.50. So,
nice.
Like for $7.50, you could be at the movie theater for
all
over
day.
12 hours watching movies.
Yeah, all day.
And,
That's the other cool thing is that you're not buying a ticket. The people aren't buying a ticket for one screening. They're buying a ticket, and that ticket gets you in for the whole day.
Yeah, I mean, if we sold individual tickets, we would make more money. But
you'd have less people.
We'd have less people. We'd make more money. We'd have less audience, and the filmmakers won't be sharing their film with as many people. So instead, we're like, you know what? We do day passes, so that way people come in, they can watch any movies they want, and they can stay all day. So it's like it really gets the theaters packed because people come for like 3, 4, 5 hours and watch a bunch of shorts, and so it's really cool. And then the people that get VIP passes, in addition to getting into the festival and seeing every movie and every panel, they get discounts at local restaurants, and they get free Stella beer at the after parties. So we really like we get the audience there by doing that, and it gets a huge crowd, and we love that.
That's amazing. The more we talk about it, the more I just want to go ahead and be there.
Yeah, can it just be here already?
Well, it's a couple of days away. I would rather it was a little bit longer away, though, so we can make sure we get everything done on time. It will be done on time. It's just the longer away it is, the more sleep we would have been able to get.
That is awesome. I can't wait. I'm so glad you were able to come talk with us. I kind of felt bad asking you to come talk because I knew that like asking you to talk with us like less than a week in front of the festival was going to be like add stress.
Yeah, no, I love this, and it was nice to take a break from the work. We have a ton of people that are actually still working. I think most people are starting to leave. That's why, you might be hearing some noises in the background. But I love getting a chance to talk to you guys, and I always love talking about the festival and sharing like my enthusiasm for the festival. And as you can tell, I like to ramble on about the festival and just talk nonstop.
Like I ramble too. Like I don't. I have never told a short story.
Yeah, that's
it's supposed to me. Every story I tell is short because I'm small.
Oh, bread. Okay. So I have one last question. I lied. Okay. You're a filmmaker.
Yes.
Who is working overtime doing the film festivals, planning and organizing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How much time does that take up from you, and are you working on a movie? Have you made anything since you've been the guy?
I've written several scripts. I'm working on after making my first film, and then the documentary I don't even think that counts. That kind of all came together by accident. But after making my first film, I the thing that I really loved about making this was the screenwriting. That was the part that I really I mean, I loved every aspect of it. But the one thing that really stood out was I really liked just writing the script. So that's what I focus on now. I focus on screenwriting. So I do get a chance to write while I'm doing this, but I do spend I do this all year. A lot of our staff we bring on just for a few weeks or a few months, but I'm part of the festival year round. I keep up on the social media. It's less work. In January, February, I'm not pushing it as much. But April, our submissions open, and I'm tweeting and pushing out stuff nonstop. Last year we won. Movie Maker magazine named us one of the top 25 coolest film festivals in the world.
Badass.
And it was because we were pushing online for people to vote for us, and we just reached out to our filmmakers, and they all were like, "Yeah, we would love to vote for you." So and that was a last minute. That was something that I saw last minute, and I'm like, "Oh, we got to enter this." So I'm always looking for ways to get the word out about the festival, and I do trivia contests throughout the year. I'll watch films and talk to people about films online. So I push out this stuff all year, and then I start watching the films when the films start coming in. So it's a full-time job doing this. So it'd be nice when eventually I could actually get paid as if it was a full-time job. So that way I don't have to worry about doing day jobs and stuff like that to pay bills. But it's a lot of work, but it's a ton of work for everybody involved. But we love it, and we're so passionate about it. So. Everyone's always asking, can I come in earlier next year? I want to bring me onto the festival. I had a conversation with some of our volunteers. They were like, we want to be part of the festival earlier next year. Bring us in so we can, do more work.
That's awesome.
I have a quick question. I'm assuming you're probably real busy during the film festival.
Yeah.
It's not all pre-production. You're probably running around while it's going on, too. But I wondered if maybe you might have... even if 15 minutes, but if you might have some time while we're there, I don't know if maybe Sunday night might be the best, where we can just sit down and talk about the movies that we saw and how awesome the festival was.
Absolutely. Yeah. The good thing is, this year we're trying to get everything taken care of before the festival. Last year, things were really hectic where I was in the office most of the time, but also part of that was because last year, our award ceremony, after the award ceremony, I surprised my fiance. She was my girlfriend at the time. I proposed to her on stage at the award ceremony, and we had a musical act come out and play our song, who happened to be a chicken puppet band. So, and then the screens around the theater started playing a slideshow of our photos, and so all that was I was handling all that while also putting together the awards ceremony. And since we had we had these screens, we're going to show clips of all the films. And so we started editing clips on the Friday. We were editing clips of all the award nominees. So that last year I was really in the office most of the time. This year we're really trying to get as much done as possible before the festival. So I can walk around, be at the parties. I can, share events online, and also just meet the filmmakers and really get to interact with the filmmakers, because that's one thing that we all really love. We want to be out there. We don't want to be that festival where you'll never meet the higher ups. You'll never meet the people that program your film. Instead, we want to be there, and that's the one thing that I love. Dan, our executive director, at opening night, he stands in front of the theater and says hello to every person that walks into the theater. He thanks them for coming and speaks to every person individually as they're coming into the theater.
The emails I've gotten from him as a filmmaker have been very, very much like talking to you, really enthusiastic. And the last one I got from him said, we're very excited that you're going to be here. I personally guarantee you're going to have a fantastic time, or something in that. But he's like, he takes it very personal.
He does.
And I appreciate that. It started out like my first email saying that we had been selected as a film. The first email started telling me, like, it started reinforcing, this is for you. We're here for you. This is going to be. Yeah. And it did not even read. It read like he actually wrote the email himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I communicate with all the filmmakers. Every time I get an email, I respond to the filmmakers. He writes his emails to everybody. Yeah. Like, that's one thing he wants to be in charge of that, because he wants it to be his voice and he wants to talk to, like, he'll send it to me and be like, will you proofread it? And I'll correct any spelling mistakes.
Right.
But yeah, he actually, those emails are straight from Dan.
Yeah, and you can tell it doesn't feel like, we are pleased to announce that, but it felt like a real, almost like a homegrown, handmade thing. You never want to get the rejection letter, but it's the same thing with the rejection letter. He apologizes and says, like, if it's a film that, like, he wanted to screen, but, like, we just didn't have the spot. Like, if he thought, like, if we had spots, we would have screened it. He'll send them, like, a personal thing and be like, we please submit again next year. We'd love to, we see, potential to be a great film at our festival. Submit your next one here. And, like, awesome. He really, like, we care about the filmmakers, and even if the filmmakers don't get in, they're still filmmakers. We still care about them. So. And, there's always a chance they're coming down the road. We've had filmmakers. We have some. I can't remember the name of the person, but I got an email that said my first 2 films were rejected, and this film got in, and I can't wait to finally be part of it. So the fact that, like, he was rejected twice from us, and he still submitted to us again, like, that showed that, like, he still wanted to be part of us. Yeah.
So, like, we even when we let you down, like, we let you down easy. Like, it's all personal. Like, who cares?
When I submit to stuff, and it was the same way with the Orlando Film Festival, when I submit to stuff, I try my best not to think about it. I try to forget, basically. Like, to the point where sometimes I actually forget to submit because I start preparing myself for the inevitable rejection, because you're going to get rejected, so many times, even with the good film, But so when I got to be honest with you, I got the email. I woke up in the middle of the night. My dog was barking or something, and I went out to let her out. And right as I was laying back down, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning, my email chimed. And I made the mistake of reaching over and checking my email, thinking, oh, it's just a junk mail. They always come in the middle of the night. You know how that is. But there was 5 or 6 junks, and then one in there, like, news from the Orlando Film Festival. I was like, oh, yeah, I submitted to the Orlando Film Festival. I wonder if this is my rejection.
You should have known then not to open it.
I said, I literally had the thought, I wonder if this is my rejection from the Orlando Film Festival. And then I clicked on it and said, we're pleased, the whole thing. You're
now
in.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
And I couldn't sleep the rest of the night because I was excited, because it's actually the first festival that Impasse has gotten into. So it's like basically its premiere.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and
thanks.
Thank
awesome.
you for making an awesome film. At least from what I've heard from our programmers, they love it. So
awesome. That's really ultimately the thing. Like, I want people to like it. I want people to see my movie and think that was a good movie, not necessarily pat me on the back or give me a whole bunch of this or that,
or give us work.
Yeah. Like, of course, if I got a job directing another film because of that one, that would make it even better. But I really just want, when you're done with the movie, you don't want to be sick and tired of it. You want to be proud of it. And this is one that I'm proud of, and that I want to keep that feeling. So getting into a festival, you want to be proud of it when you're done, and you don't want to be sick and tired of it, even though you're getting rejected every time you turn around. And that's how I still feel about this one. So I'm happy.
That's great. That's how you're supposed to feel when you make a movie. You don't want to be like, I'm sick of this film. I don't want to, I don't even want to think about this film anymore.
I tell you though, there are days.
Yeah, there are some podcasts we do where we're like, we don't want to ever think about
don't think about it anymore. Anyway,
well, I'm like that too. Like with like stuff like Shuck, there's a whole period where I was so sick of it. I'm not sick of talking about it. Like, I still bring it up all the time. I still talk about it. But like, then if I ever have to like watch it, I'll sit down and I'll be like, oh my god, I don't want to watch this. And then I'll watch it and I'll be like, oh, I still see some good things in it, but all I see is the things I would change in it.
Yeah.
But I still am proud of it. I still can say like I'm proud of that film, and that's important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't be where you are now if it wasn't for all the crap that you made back then. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. You make a bunch of crap, and you finally one day it's less crap. It might still be crap, but it's less crap.
Yeah, but you can laugh at it now. Yeah. Like, we were watching some stuff earlier today that we did years ago. Stuff
that hopefully no one will ever see. Like, you want people to see your stuff you make, and then a few years later you're looking at it, I'm going to put a moratorium on that. No one's ever going to see it.
Deleted from the hard drive.
It's the most embarrassing shit ever.
All right.
Anyway, we've tied up enough of your time. Yes. I really, really appreciate it, and I look forward to meeting you.
Yeah,
I'll shake your hand.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at Drama Shorts too at 3 p.m. on Friday.
I'm sure some filmmakers would be up for it too.
Awesome. I mean, that's the other thing I want to do while we're there is talk to all the filmmakers that we want to have on our show soon, because really we are an indie filmmaker show. It's not about what have you made that people have seen necessarily. It's like, what have you learned, or what do you know about making movies that you can help, that you can share.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And we would love to have you doing that, and maybe even next year come out to the festival just to meet filmmakers and stuff if you don't have another film next year.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
This will be an annual thing for us now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to meet you guys in person.
Yeah, awesome. It's going to be great. Real quick though,
we
tell
keep
us.
Saying that.
No,
we keep saying real quick,
this
and then not letting him go.
Up.
Okay, this is the wrap up.
Yes, I want all the the website and email. How do people find out everything they need to know about the film festival?
You can go to our official website, orlandofilmfest.com. However, I will admit that the website is not the greatest. We're working on updating it for. Next year, we're going to completely redo the website. The schedule is a little messed up on the site, but we will have a PDF version of the schedule on the website soon.
Cool.
And you can also find all the information about the festival on Twitter, so at Orlando Film Fest. You can ask me any questions. You can message me on there. I run the Twitter account. I run the Facebook account, so it's facebook.com/Orlando Film Fest.
Okay.
We're on Tumblr, orlandofilmfest.tumblr. So
you can just Google Orlando Film Fest.
Just Google us and you'll find something. And odds are I'll be the one on the other end of whatever message.
I mean, we met on Twitter. Like he and I just started talking to him, and I said randomly on Twitter, "Hey, would you want to come on the show?" And he said, "Yeah." That's how interactive he is they are as a festival. He's like,
That's
"Sure."
Cool.
He didn't even bat an eye. I was a little nervous about just like randomly asking, like, "Who the hell are you?" But you were right there, which was awesome. Okay, so if you want to contact us, Film Reverie, it is we are on Twitter at Film Reverie, and if you'd like to send us an email, it's filmreveriepodcast@gmail.com. And as always, if you want to call in, ask us a question, leave us a voicemail, the number is 321-804-3271. This is going to come out the Wednesday of the festival, so this will be out on Wednesday. So like
in a few hours.
Yeah, in a few hours. We'll meet you in a few hours. Yes. Ha ha ha. We totally botched that. But we will see you soon.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Thanks. Film Reverie is a production of Broken Sunset Films, LLC. It was created and is produced under a Creative Commons license by Michael Beckemeyer and Bradley Kingston. Copyright Broken Sunset Films, LLC, 2014.
Make a f***ing face, you f***er!